So you're in a relationship with a Filipina, or perhaps considering a relationship with a Filipina, and you want to know how you can be sure that she's madly in love with you. Yes, we've all heard the many horror stories that get regurgitated around by people who thrive on drama, or from those people who are just rather miserable and take delight in detracting from other people's happiness. Yes, no doubt that some of those horror stories are true, but not nearly as prevalent as some may think or try and get you to believe. So right here in this video, I'll give you 5 ways to know your Filipina is madly in love with you. So be sure to buckle up tight and stay with me here. The first way to know that your Filipina is madly in love with you is that she'll be very keen to stay in contact with you or to always be around you. Make no mistake that many Filipinas love to be loved, and they love to be around their special man as much as possible. Now, some may go a little overboard at times, and you may think that she's being overbearing or she's smothering you. But you can be sure that many Filipinas do this because they really love you, and they simply can't get enough of you. So be sure to take this as a positive sign, and if you're one of those guys who feel that she's going a little over the top to the point where you feel uncomfortable, then you may need to have a chat with her in a calm manner to help her realise that she may need to turn it down a notch or two. But just be aware that many Filipinas are rather sensitive, and doing that could really hurt her feelings. The second way to know your Filipina is madly in love with you is around jealousy. Now, most of us have jealousy to some degree, and a small amount of jealousy is a normal human emotion that lets us know that she loves you. Many foreign guys will have experienced when they may be innocently chatting to one of his Filipina's girlfriends and may leave a heart comment or say something complimentary in an innocent way. His Filipina may see red and really start to fire up and question her man as to why he said that to her friend. Now, you may think that she's out of line or over the top, but you must try and look at this from the Filipina's point of view and learn how things roll in the Philippines. Filipinas know all too well that other Filipinas may try and step in and take her foreign man away from her, and some of these so-called friends won't really even try to hide the fact. So your Filipina may very well love you, and this is her way of protecting you from perhaps unwanted attention, whilst also protecting her own interests, and you can be very sure she'll be on the lookout. The third way to know that your Filipina is madly in love with you is the way that she'll look at you and care for you. You'll see her looking at you in certain moments that are unmistakably love in her eyes, and she'll always be wanting to touch you in some way, especially when you're in private together. She may like to sit watching a movie together whilst holding hands, or she may come up and start rubbing your head or stroking your cheek. Even when you're outside walking together, whether it be along a beach or in a mall, she may always like to hold your hand. You can be very sure that that's her way of being close to you, and it lets you know that she's madly in love with you. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video and want to get all our future videos, then be sure to subscribe and press the bell notification. The fourth way to know that your Filipina is madly in love with you is that she'll always want the best for you. For example, she'll always ensure that your clothes are washed and ironed, especially your work clothes, so you can look good and feel good every day. You may even notice that before you guys go out somewhere, she'll be looking to see if your shirt is crisp and has no wrinkles in it. And if it does, she'll be happy to tell you to take it off while she irons it. To some of us foreign guys, we may think it's a little silly. But no, what she does here is out of love and respect for you. And she loves to be the one who's looking after you, and she certainly won't be afraid to show it. The fifth way to know your Filipina is madly in love with you is that she'll defend you like there's no tomorrow. If anyone, including her family and friends, talk badly about you, then you can be sure that she'll go full-on attack mode to defend you, which is really something considering how close many Filipinas are to their families. But be sure not to take advantage of that by being a jerk and still expecting that she'll defend you, because that will only put her in a very awkward situation, which really isn't fair. You'll also notice that if you're with her in the Philippines and a taxi driver or street vendor tries to take advantage of you by overcharging, then again, she'll move straight into attack mode to set the person straight. Simply, a Filipina that loves you won't stand for anyone putting you down or trying to take advantage of you. Now, on top of all this, if you really want to know if your Filipina is madly in love with you, then be observant in looking out for all the signs mentioned here, and then listen to your gut feeling or intuition. Many guys get taken for a ride by a Filipina because he may be gullible and switches off to noticing any of the possible red flags. Equally, we need to be looking out for all the positive signs such as what we've mentioned here in this video, and if you notice those things, then certainly your gut feeling will be telling you just how genuine this Filipina really is. Now, one must know that there are so many men all over the world who are very happy in their relationships with a Filipina, and there are more men than ever looking to start a long-term, successful relationship with a Filipina moving forward. So don't be put off by the horror stories, because really, they pale into comparison with the many successful relationships out there that we never really hear about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.